Hey, what's up everyone? Morey here with the Performance Lab of California. We're going to do another breakdown here today on Jesse Owens. Got the recommendation for Jesse Owens. I think it's a great recommendation, so thought I would go ahead and do the breakdown. I did the finals of the 36 Olympics just because, you know, you could do the quarters or the semis, and it just, I just didn't feel like, I think the semis were actually better. Film-wise, but I just felt like for finals, I mean, you got to do the Olympic finals, right? Nothing better than that. Nobody's going to be performed better than when they're at in the finals. So we'll start with the finals here. Jesse is here on the far right. I can't get the full get off here. Okay, so we'll start with what we got. It looks like he's one step into it. First of all, too, he's running 9.3, and they have no the ability to start, the ability to get to top end speed when you're running in dirt. I mean, just the technological advances that have happened within within track over the last 80 years has been huge. And so the fact that he was able to run 10.3 back here just shows a testament to how fast he really was. Anyways, we'll get right through it. You could tell that at that there's not as much of a concentration on really reaching out when they're first starting off. It's much more on just getting these quick footsteps. But this shows, again, I mean, when you look at Jesse Owens, he's got a giant lower body and a lot of force within his hamstrings, and that's where his primary power is coming from when he's running. So you can see that how the start was back here. I mean, this guy right here, he has actually pretty good starting mechanics, but overall, it looks like he just kind of powers himself through the beginning parts of the race, and now as he gets going, he's able to get more into that stride. So at the beginning, he's very, very short, and you can compare that to this guy here, who he has a little bit more stride length. I would say his posture is not great, and his ability to control his arms aren't great, so he's losing power there, but from a leg perspective, I'd say he actually has a little bit better legs from the start in comparison to Jesse. But once Jesse gets going, he is definitely at a better position. You can see he actually gets into top end speed a lot faster than anybody else here, just because he is able to really use the force of pushing off. And then once he starts pushing off and getting those legs out in front, now we're going into the next level of speed. And then look at how great of a stride he has. I mean, especially on that right side. We'll wait until we get a little bit more into it. Look at it on that right side where he's able to come in and how straight up he is. I mean, he has excellent posture as he's running through. He's pushing off. He's getting that extension out. And then look at that cycle back underneath. So good right there. And then doesn't get that leg back too far back behind him. Pushes off right at the right time to make it so he could drive that heel right back up to his butt. Gets it up there and then is able to drive forward with that heel still connected, and then gets that extension around, that fast extension around with his fast flexion around, and then gets that extension back in the knee and then pulls back underneath him to make it so he lands with that foot right underneath his knee. I mean, that is as good as it gets from a running cycle perspective. Again, let's walk through it all again, what he's trying to do. So you're landing, your foot is right under your tibia, which is excellent. As he's going and allowing that weight to come, or the foot to come back behind him, he pushes off in a good area. Right when you're at about 45 degrees, you don't want to let that foot getting too far back behind you, or else it affects your ability to transfer back through. Excellent push-off time to make it so he gets that foot right back up from his heel up to his butt. Then great job of being able from this position to keep that heel to his butt, get that heel up to the butt before it crosses the front knee. Both big biomechanical points that you have to be able to connect to. Now drives his knee up. Okay, as he's driving his knee up, he does a good job, at least at the beginning, of keeping that heel pretty close up to the butt. Now, as that knee comes up, that foot starts to separate. He gets all the way into knee extension right here. Okay, now once you get into knee extension, make sure you can pull that foot back underneath you to land with your foot right underneath the knee. And this is where, having a really fast foot contact time, which you can see he has, is crucial. And now it's all about being able to create that vertical force again. He's doing an excellent job on his left and right side. You can see when he's pushing off on either leg, how he pushes off and kind of contracts in those shoulders. Watch how he's doing that. Contracts in his shoulders. So he's really using his core, really strong in his core to drive those knees back forward. See how he does that there? He's going and drives that knee back forward. Now he's back into extension. Now he's driving back forward. He actually does a better job on his right side of not really losing that posture, but either way, he does still Have a little like second there where he's going into flexion right there with his spine as he's going back into extending his body out. But the left one, he definitely does it. See how he's driving with that left knee forward, and he kind of contracts in that core, allows that posture to kind of break a little bit, and then gets right back into extension. And he's really using that extension also to push that right leg back and really get a lot of force out of that right leg. Excellent. Very interesting to see that too, that how he's kind of using that force to really generate that extra power when he's driving with his left leg forward and right leg back, right, boom, right? You see how he's doing that there? Very, very interesting. That's what the core does. The core flexes in the spine, so that's definitely a core activation technique. Now when he goes on the right side, he doesn't do it as much. He still uses that core a little bit, but not the same way. He keeps more good posture there. That left leg push off, he allows that foot to get a little bit more behind him. He doesn't have as much force there, but right side, great job of being able to generate force within that left hip flexor, left core, or left, just left side of the core in general, and then really be able to push off and extend in that back to make it so he's really reaching that optimum speed the best that he can. Notice how when he's running, he's not shifting too much in the shoulders. He's getting those elbows all the way up to the shoulder there, not having to use too much T-spine mobility. You have to have great compression mechanics within your spine, or decompression mechanics would maybe be the better way to put it. Essentially what I'm trying to say is that your spine cannot be too segmented together, okay? You need to have a lot of extension in your spine in order to maintain this type of shoulder mechanics when you're running, and not having to rotate a lot in your thoracic spine, okay? You want to be able to have some ability to move there, right? Because he's able to get at least a little bit of rotation when he's running, but you want to overall be able to sustain a lot of shoulder mobility while having a good amount of core strength. So right here, he's stretching a lot in his core, and then as he's driving through here, boom, now he's activating his core as he's driving his right arm through, which is where he's getting a lot of his power from when he's running, and what made him into the elite sprinter that he was. And I mean, again, we'll see what the time was. It was a 10.3, won the gold medal with a 10.3. Unbelievable back then, using on dirt, not as good of shoes, did not have any start block or anything like that. I mean, overall, just amazing that he was able to accomplish what he was able to accomplish. I don't know what it would translate to now, but definitely something better than a 10.3. There's no doubt about that.